And we bid you a good morning, ladies and gentlemen, coast to coast and around the world, from Duval to Davenport and all points in between. Iowa softball is on the air on the Hawkeye Radio Network on a blistery Sunday morning. It feels more like Iowa City than it does to Sunshine State, but the sun is indeed out, and the Hawkeyes look to lead the Sunshine State the way they started it on a victorious note, as they'll have the first of two games today. The first one will be against the Ivy League's Harvard Crimson. Good morning, everyone. Victor Anderson talking to you from the Hawkeyes seat, just offset of the right-handed batter's box behind home plate here at the UNF softball complex. The Hawkeyes victorious in that doubleheader yesterday versus the Jacksonville Dolphins. The Hawkeyes needed all 14 innings and needed everyone available to come away with the doubleheader sweep. Game one was a back-and-forth battle. The Hawkeyes struck first 1-0, and then the Hawkeyes gave up a run on a very controversial and some consider an incorrectly called obstruction back in the fourth inning. Jacksonville picked up 2 runs in the bottom of the fifth to take a 3-1 lead, but the Hawkeyes struck with 4 in the top of the sixth. Grace Baines with a game-tying 2-run single, and Riley Moss with the eventual game-winning RBI sacrifice fly in the top of the sixth. Jaylee Ojo came on relief for Jalen Adams, dealt with the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the seventh, picked up back-to-back strikeouts to secure the victory for Iowa in game one of the doubleheader. Game two was a similar setup, both tied up at 1 going to the top of the seventh. The Hawkeyes got 3 runs across a pair of Jacksonville errors on a drop fly ball and a fielding error. Allowed the Hawkeyes to play 3, and Haley Down came in. But once again, the Hawkeyes had to deal with the bases loaded. Haley Down got a pair of flyouts to end the game and get the Hawkeyes a 4-2 win and clinch another winning record in the state of Florida under head coach Renee Gillespie. The two coaches meeting at home plate before we get things started on this Sunday morning here in Jacksonville. It's 57 degrees right now. Crisp, cool conditions, blue skies, lights are on for right now here at the UNF softball complex. I don't expect that to stay the same for very long before we get our matchup today. Meanwhile, for Harvard, 3-1 on the young season, suffered their first loss last night versus North Florida, 3-1. But Harvard's team has been very strong so far this year. They have 3 hitters hitting over 420, led by Alexa Ward, who is 5 of 10 with 4 RBIs in the young season. The Harvard pitching staff with a .28 ERA. They've started 4 different pitchers. 5 different pitchers have made appearances in this Florida swing for Harvard. And it'll be Anna Reed who'll get the start for the Crimson versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. And because of her efforts yesterday versus Jacksonville, Jaylee Ojo will get the ball for head coach Renee Gillespie, as she and Harvard head coach Jenny Roan finished their home plate meeting. Jenny Roan, in her first season as the head coach of the Crimson, served as an assistant coach under Jenny Allard in 2022, took over the job of Western Michigan in 2023, led the Broncos to 17 wins, and when Coach Allard got the job at Pitt, Jenny Roan was asked to return back to the Crimson to lead their program. Iowa will be the designated visiting team in this morning's matchup. There will be the Grays with Iowa in gold trimmed with white. Harvard in the black uniforms with the crimson trimmed with white. Don't mean the third base dugout over to our left. Give you our starting lineups. First for your Iowa Hawkeyes, coming in with a record of 6-3 on the season. The fans are literally sitting above us here at the UNF softball complex. And here's the lineup for head coach Renee Gillespie. Looks like we're waiting for some softballs from the press box so we can get things going on this Sunday morning. We'll give you those lineups for the Hawkeyes. It'll be a freshman top third of the order in Jenna Young, Sujin Berry, and Darren Bowman. Looks like we do need a white cloth to dust off to clean off home plate right in front of us. Jenna Young again will lead off with shortstop Sujin Berry, who scored the game-winning run. She'll be playing third. Devin Bowman will be the DP, hitting in the number 3 spot. Klosterman, Baines, Moss 4, 5, and 6. Riley Klosterman once again hitting cleanup. Grace Baines, we mentioned her 2-run single in game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. She'll hit 5th. And Riley Moss, who picked up the game-winning RBI on the sacrifice fly, she'll hit in the number 6 spot. Diaz, Bennett, Pogue, 7, 8, 9. Sammy Diaz, of course, hitting in the 7th spot. And Tori Bennett at second will be hitting 8th. And Skyland Pogue will catch and hit 9th. Jaylee Ojo will get the ball in her 2nd career start for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the freshman out of Sacramento, California. For the Harvard Crimson, as our announcer is going over the starting lineups, we give him the pronunciation guide. He's still having trouble with the lineup. Don't know why. It'll be Fitzpatrick, Babowski, and Ward at the top of the order. Savannah Fitzpatrick will lead off. She'll play in center field. Lauren Babowski will be at center field. She'll batting 2, wearing number 22. Alexa Ward, she will catch. She will hit third. Douglas, Mays, Davies, 4, 5, and 6. Maya Douglas, she'll be the designated player. She'll wear number 26. She'll hit cleanup. Maya Mays, she'll be at first base. She'll hit 5th. And Megan Davies will be at second base. She'll hit in the 6th spot. Selassie, Sun, and Payne, 7, 8, and 9. Audrey Selassie, she'll be in right field. She'll hit 7. Sophie Sun, she'll be at shortstop. She'll hit in the 8th spot. And Finley Payne will play the hot corner and hit in the number 9 hole. Anna Reed will get the start for the Harvard Crimson. Reed making her 2nd start and 3rd appearance overall in the season. She is 0-1 on the season. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 unearned runs, walked 4, and struck out 4.
Batting 9th, doing the catching, number 13, Skyland Pogue.
Reed got the loss in that 3-1 defeat versus North Florida yesterday. Pitched 2 innings, 2 unearned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, as North Florida picked up a run in the 3rd and 2 runs in the 5th to suffer the 3-1 loss versus the host Ospreys in the UNFJU Classic taking place both at North Florida and the Jacksonville campus. I'm excited to see what the Hawkeyes can do. The excitement with the team was very high last season. Hawkeyes finished their introductions down along the first base line.
Now let's meet the starters.
Introduce the Harvard lineup now.
Harvard Crimson.
Marks the 46th meeting, marks the 2nd meeting ever between these 2 programs. The other one came back on March 21st, 1997, a 13-6 Iowa victory. Harvard will be in the field first as the designated home team. Iowa will be batting first, wearing the gray uniforms. Iowa trimmed with gold and the white. Harvard in the all-black with the crimson and white trim. Another busy day of action on Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa baseball will look to get themselves a win on their trip to the Sunshine State as they take on Wichita State. Pre-game coverage will start at 11:30 Eastern Time, with our good friend John Evans having a call for you here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And then Iowa women's basketball will be back in action at the sold-out Carver Hawkeye Arena as they take on Illinois. Rob Brooks and Tiffany Reedy will have the call for you there in Iowa City on the Hawkeye Radio Network at Sirius XM Channel 84. Hawkeyes will fly out of Florida later on tonight, return back to Iowa City. Quick turnaround, they'll head to Wichita, Kansas to take on the Shockers for a midweek game that was added late because of the rainouts the Hawkeyes had to deal with due in the spring games last weekend in Leesburg, Florida. That'll be a part of a home and home. The Wichita Shockers will return the favor back in late April. I will pause for the national anthem. we're set to play softball on this Sunday fun day in the Sunshine State. Glad that you're with us. Victor Anderson hanging out with you coast to coast around the world here on the Hawkeye Radio Network on this crisp Sunday morning here at the UNF Softball Complex. Iowa and Harvard with our second ever meeting on this Sunday morning. Hawkeyes 6-3 in 2024, winners of their last three, including a doubleheader sweep last night versus Jacksonville. Both games came down to the bottom of the seventh inning with the Dolphins with the bases loaded. Great efforts in relief from Jaylee Ojo in game one and Haley Down in game two. Preserved the victory for the black and gold and clinched another winning trip to the Sunshine State. Their sixth in as many seasons under the stewardship of head coach Renee Gillespie. Ward throws it down and we're set to go on this Sunday morning here in Duval County, the most famous county in Hall of America. Jacksonville is the only city where people know the county more than the city. Dwayne Henry behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Ron Graham at first, Ronaldo Mora will be at third. A slight delay as we're waiting for the game balls to come out from the UNF operations team. Want to certainly give a tip of the cap to them for making sure that everything's been running smoothly here, and also our friends in North Florida, or Jacksonville, for getting that done as Mr. Henry gives Coach Gillespie the situation about the game balls right now. So we're in a slight delay right now, and Jenna Young awaits the delivery. Alexa Reed, we referenced, making her second start of the season. She appeared yesterday versus North Florida. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 unearned runs, and got tagged with the loss against the Ospreys 3-1. Reed, senior from San Luis Obispo, California. Last year, pitched 26 games, had 95 2/3 innings, was all Ivy honorable mention. Was named to the Ivy League All-Tournament team. It looks like we are set to play some softball on this Sunday. Our other start came against Manhattan. Pitched 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Here comes Jenna Young. First pitch went after the top of the hour. It's on outside for ball 1, and we're underway. Jenna tied for the team lead in batting average, hitting .375. Has started every game in her rookie season. That one's low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Hawkeyes looking for their best start in over a decade. Trying to improve to 7-3 on the season and 2-0 all time versus the Crimson. 2-0 to count to Young. Two of the rookies, a hard shot goes off the glove of Davies, and Jenny Young will reach to start off for the Hawkeyes. That was a hard shot up the middle.
Now batting, Susan Berry.
Kicked out the edge of the glove of Davies, and Young will have the base hit to start things off for the Hawkeyes. Upset Susan Berry. He's out upstairs above the Hawkeye in the goal with the white trim, ball 1. Berry hitting an even .300 this year. He's the Hawkeyes with 7 runs driven in, the 1-0. Fouls that off the end of the foot. Ball on the strike to the California rookie. It tells you the confidence Coach Gillespie has. We got freshman at the top of the order, and Young, Berry, and Devin Bowman. You have a change up by Reed. Evens up, makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jenny Young with a single off second base, start things off. The 1-2. This is on the outside edge. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Micah Sutherland, the pitching coach for the Crimson, had a decorated career, first at Cal State Fullerton and then at Oregon State. Also has pitched professionally for Athletes Unlimited. And Barry goes down swinging. You can see that experience for Sutherland paying off at his Harvard pitching staff. .28 ERA through their first 4 games of 2024. One away for Devin Bowman. Tails away, ball 1. Devin, .273 hitter this year, 6 runs driven in. Picked up that 6 RBI in the 3rd inning of game 1 versus Jacksonville yesterday. Look at pitch and the strike, says Dwayne Henry. Ryan Graham at first, but Arnold Mora over at 3rd. That's right now behind second base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Almost hops in front of the chest of War. Young will go to second without the throw. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And Young now in scoring position. Reed sends. This is on the outside, and there's 3 balls and a 3 balls and a strike. Young on second with the steal. Hawkeyes now 14 of 15 in the thievery department this year. And it's a full count to the freshman DP, Devin Bowman. Three balls, 2 strikes. And down goes Bowman swinging. So Reed has battled back after giving up that single, back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down for Bradley Klosterman.
Left fielder Bradley Klosterman.
BK hitting .250, 5 RBIs. Down and outside, ball 1. Scoreless top of the first. Jenna Young at second. Hawkeyes hoping BK can bring her in and get them on the board early. Get some support from Jaylee Ojo. That's a strike, 1-1. Fitzpatrick, Babowski. Zalasi, the outfield, left to right. Down low, 2 balls and a 1 strike. Mays at first, Davies at second, Sun at short, Payne at third. War behind the plate doing the catching for Reed. That's the defensive alignment for Jenny Roan and the Harvard Crimson. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs and a Hawkeye first. Grossman makes a good cut, fouls someone back, evens up the count 2-2. Very taut netting and a very quick backstop over to our right. 10-15 paces from the tip of home plate to the end of the backstop. Ooh, beautiful pitch. Just misses low. It's a full count, 3-2. Grace Maines awaits on deck. Reed, 3-2. Ball 4, walks Klosterman. So that'll be up to Grace Maines.
Center fielder, Grace Bain.
So 2 away for Maines. He's hitting 296 with 3 runs driven in. Of course, 2 of them coming in that 6th inning in game 1 versus Jacksonville yesterday. I need a shoot toss, ball 1. Jenny Young at second. Riley Klosterman at first. Hawkeyes trying to get on the board against Reed. Outside and GB's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. He looks at a pitch sign on her left forearm and sends the 2-0 to Baines, and is falling behind 3-0. Wind will not be much of a factor today. Gentle wind here in Jacksonville. 3 balls, no strikes for Baines. Ball 4. Leave a bit of a perplexed look, and Coach Sutherland will
right fielder Riley Moss
will come on out and have a talk with Reed. And Coach Gillespie and Aaron Dow Johnson will bring her offense up. Bases full of Hawkeyes in the top of the first. And a chance for Riley Moss to break the seal on this Sunday morning. Riley with their performance yesterday versus Jacksonville. Tied for the team best 375 batting average. Riley moved up to 6 in the order and ended up going 3 for 6 yesterday. Had that game-winning sacrifice fly in that 6-inning rally versus Jacksonville in game 1 of the Twin Bill. So here comes Moss. Bases full of Hawkeyes. Young at third, Klosterman at second, Baines at first. First pitch to Riley. Down the inside, ball 1. He's trying to figure out where Jackson's going to be. Trying to be, as we're working a little bit around the knees. Hasn't been getting anything right now from Mr. Dwayne Henry behind the plate. And that one's over for a strike. He was up to count. 2 outs in Iowa first. Jenny Young stands at third, had a single off of second base. Klosterman and Baines both walked with 2 outs. Moss whips at it, 0-1 ball, 2 strikes. Lebowski shifting, playing more towards left center. Hawkeyes cannot waste this opportunity early on versus Harvard, the 1-2. Gets off the changeup. And Reed picks up 3 Ks and ends the Hawkeye threat. The Hawkeyes cannot capitalize. And the freshman Jaylee Ojo will come to the plate. When we come back to Jacksonville, this is Iowa softball from Learfield. Back here at the UNF softball complex. Jaylee Ojo will go to work in the bottom of the first. Hawkeyes cannot take advantage with the bases loaded. It remains scoreless, and Ojo will deal with this Harvard Crimson lineup. Savannah Fitzpatrick will lead things off. Lauren Babowski will hit second. Alexa War, who's hitting 5 for 10 this weekend. She's hits in the 3 spot. Maya Douglas, the DP, will hit cleanup. Maddie Mays will hit 5th. Megan Davies hitting 6th. Audrey Selassie will hit 7th. She'll play right. Sophie Sun will hit 8th. Henley Payne will be in the 9 hole playing 3rd. Defensively for the Hawkeyes, same 7 defensively we've seen now for the first 10 games. Riley Klosterman in left, Grace Baines at center, Riley Moss in right, Sammy Diaz at first, Tori Bennett at second, Jenna Young at short, Susan Berry at third, Skylin Pogue during the catching this morning. Shows bunt, strike 1 to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's 3 for 7 this year with 3 runs scored and an RBI. And pace of strike. Ojo ahead 0-2. Ojo picked up game 1. Came in. Picked up the save for Jalen Adams. Pitched an inning and 2/3, struck out 5. Down outside for ball 1. Ojo showed tremendous poise. Had the bases loaded with 1 out. Had the tying runs on base. Picked up back-to-back strikeouts to preserve the Hawkeyes 5-3 win. Oh, beautiful pitch, and Fitzpatrick gets frozen. And that's why Coach Renee Gillespie was so optimistic about these freshman arms that Mandy Gardner-Colgate got to work with during the fall and so far this season. You can see the electric stuff off the 5'11 freshman from Sacramento. Babowski takes that pitch up high for ball 1. Both teams like to play station to station. Harvard only hitting .225 as a team. 3 extra base hits so far this season, but have a 3-1 mark. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Jeannie Roan, her first season as the Crimson head coach. Over at the third base box, Mandy Karp on the first base side, right in front of the Iowa dugout. Almost fouled up, looked like I caught the front edge of the barrel. Babowski makes the count 2-1. Babowski is senior from Cold, Michigan. Second team Ivy League selection last year. 2-1, slaps it past Barry. Nice kick save by Coach Roan. Fouls it off 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ojo gets the signal from the pitch com. Rocks back on the right foot and sends. A little tap again towards the Crimson dugout. Count remains 2-2. A few of the Hawkeye fans bundled up. Would be crisp and cool conditions here in Jacksonville on this Sunday morning. Another 2-2 for Ojo. Lays off of that one, did Babowski, and it's a full count. Almost similar looking pitch. Ojo throws Fitzpatrick on. Ojo with the payoff. And she could not hold her swing. She was expecting something soft on the outside.
Now batting the catcher, Alexis Ward.
Got something hard and into the hands. And Ojo with now 4 straight strikeouts. She concluded 2 strikeouts she had to end last night's game. Here comes Alexa Ward. First pitch hit deep to left. Klosterman's back. She makes the catch. And that will end the Harvard first.
No score.
Jaylee Ojo with a pair of strikeouts retires the Crimson in order. 1 inning in the books here in UNF. We are scoreless. You're listening to Iowa Softball from Learfield. Back here to Jacksonville, top of the second. Hawkeyes and Crimson scoreless. Victor Anderson back with you here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. 7-8-9 coming up. Diaz, Bennett, and Skyland Pogue as they'll take on
Leading off for Iowa, the top of the
Hannah Reed.
baseman, Sammy Diaz.
Diaz had solid at-bats yesterday. We picked up 1 base hit in 7 plate appearances. Now hitting .208 on the season, but you get a feeling that Sammy's due to. We got her this early season slump she's been in. The 1-0. This is outside. Reed with another smile on her face. As the wind picking up a little bit, blew my score sheet away. So it's me saying wind not being a factor. It's a factor where I'm positioned at. And it's a strike 2-1. From the field perspective, wind slightly blowing in from center. Diaz had 3 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful facility here at UNF. We referenced yesterday on our broadcast day in Jacksonville, co-hosted the A-Sun Softball Championships in 2022. All 4.
Now batting, second baseman, Corey Bennett.
So Diaz gets the walk. That's the 3rd for Reed. Already this morning, came in, we referenced she had 4 walks and 5 innings pitched. There are 2 games that she has pitched here in Jacksonville. Here comes Tori Bennett. We talk about someone who's primed to break out of her early season funk, and that's TB. Takes that for strike 1. Bennett yesterday reached base in her last 4 plate appearances. Reached 5 out of 6 times she was at the plate. And I find it. So you get the feeling that TB's starting to find her patience at the plate. 1-1. Balls inside, 2 balls and a strike. Pogue waits on deck for the Hawkeyes. Top of the second, no score. Diaz on first with the leadoff free pass. 2 on the TV, times a curveball to center field. Babowski's there, makes the catch. Diaz has to retreat back to first, and that's 1 out.
Now batting for the Hawkeyes, the catcher, Skyland Pogue.
Here comes Skyland Pogue. Getting a chance to hit in game 1 of this twin bill. She's 1 for 3 on the season. That one's high and away to Skyland for ball 1. Love to see Skyland get something going, move Sammy over to scoring position, and set up the top of the order with Jenna Young, who's on deck. That one gets on the outside half, 1-1. It's all about finding that consistency in that number 9 spot. It's been Pogue and Lindsay for the last few games, especially with how Riley Moss has been hitting, moving up from the 9th spot to the number 6 position for the 3rd straight game. 2-1 to count to Skyland. Diaz at first, 1 out, scoreless, top 2 here in Jacksonville. Skyland with a hard shot to second. Sure, they'll get second, they'll get the force there, and that's all. Nice play by Sun to go over to Davies to get the force with Sammy Diaz.
Shortstop, Jenna Young.
So 2 out, I'll bring up Jenna Young. Jenna with a sharp hit single that bounced off Davies' glove to start off the Hawkeye first. First pitch, Young to shallow right. Selasi's there, and that will end the inning for Iowa. So the Hawkeyes again get the leadoff runner on, but can't get that run across.
After an inning and a half, no score.
We'll head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. This is Iowa softball from Learfield. Bottom of the second inning. Jaylee Ojo finishes her warm-up tosses, and she'll deal with the middle of the order. And I emphasize the M in middle will be Maya Douglas, Maddie Mays, and Megan Davies. Victor Anderson back with you from the UNF Softball Complex. Final day of the UNF JU Classic. Hawkeyes took their 2 games yesterday at Jacksonville. Harvard 3-1 this season, started their season late. And so far have been strong in terms of their results. Their lone loss came versus North Florida last night, 3-1. Knocked off Manhattan twice. Beat Jacksonville in a game that was only played to the 6th inning due to rain on Friday afternoon. Sails outside for ball 1. That was the system that forced Iowa and North Florida's scheduled doubleheader to then be moved to a single game and then to be canceled altogether. The Ospreys and the Hawkeyes will equate themselves with one another at 12:30 Eastern time here later this afternoon. Now hops in front of Skyland Pogue. 2 balls and a strike. Douglas 4 for 9 this year with an RBI and a double. Swing and a miss, and Ojo levels up the count 2-2. Keep in mind, 5 of those walks from 5 of those 7 walks from Jaylee Ojo came in that first career start 2 weeks ago versus North Carolina Central on her birthday in Clearwater. And picks up strikeout number 3 in 4 batters.
First baseman, Maddie May.
You got Ojo, a freshman. Got Andrea Jaskowiak, a freshman. Of course, Jalen Adams, a sophomore. The veteran, the veteran on the staff, Devin Greer, the junior. Hard contact, but foul back from Maddie Mays. Mays 2 for 9, but picked up 3 RBIs. You hear that loud thump on the backstop. Well, got away from Skyland, 1-1. One now low and outside, now low. Two balls on the strike. And misses down near home plate. 3 balls and a strike. Ojo in danger of allowing her first base runner of the morning. The 3-1 pitch. Loud swing to right. Moss goes over towards the right field line and makes the catch. 2 down.
Second baseman, Megan Davies.
So 2 down. And brings up Megan Davies. Davies getting the start. She is 1 for 4 this season, has scored 3 runs. And it's tied for the team lead with 3 walks. First pitch, ground ball to second. Bennett on one knee, gets it to Sammy Diaz. And the Crimson go down in order in the second.
No score.
6 up, 6 down for Jaylee Ojo. 2 complete here in Jacksonville. Hawkeyes and Crimson still scoreless. This is Iowa softball from Learfield. And everybody, just started a very busy morning of action on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa baseball will look to get the bad taste out of their mouth from last night's comeback versus Virginia, as they'll look to salvage a win at the Jacksonville Collegiate Baseball Classic as they take on the Wichita State Wheat Shockers. John Evans will have the call for you from 121 Financial Ballpark. Pregame show will start at 11:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 Central Time on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And, of course, Rob Brooks and Tim Freedy will be courtside from a sold-out Carver Hawkeye Arena, as Hawkeyes will look to return back to the win column as they take on Illinois later on this afternoon in Iowa City. Victor Anderson here with you right now at the UNF softball complex. 2-3-4 up for the Hawkeyes, Barry, Bowman, and Klosterman. So they take on Anna Reed. Reed is only allowed a leadoff single to Jenna Young. In terms of base hits, that's the only hit either team has had so far today. Now that might change, but Reed recovers, and Barry beats it out. It was a hard comeback right to Reed. Ball popped in and out of her glove. And the throw by Reed was a split second late. And Barry legs out an infield single to start the Hawkeye third. First pitch to Bowman, swing and a miss, 0-1. That has been a fix in his higher lineup. Ball bounces away. Ward cannot get the, had two chances to get a clean hand on it, but could not do so, and Barry in scoring position. Freshman from Mesa, Arizona, hits the shot to right center field. Back goes Lassie at the track. Bounce at the base of the wall. That'll give the Hawkeyes the lead. Bowman round second. Hesitated for its second and ends up sliding in head first at third. It's a triple for the rookie, Devin Bowman. And the Hawkeyes strike first. It's 1-0. How about Devin Bowman once again? Getting the Hawkeyes on the board in the third like she did in game one yesterday versus Jacksonville. One nothing Hawkeyes, and I'll warrant a visit to the circle for head coach Jenny Roan. Bowman with the triple. And Iowa takes the 1-0 advantage. Iowa, the last two seasons, have been phenomenal when they get the game's first run. They are 34-7 since the start of last season when they score first. And Bowman gets the Hawkeyes on the board on a triple that banged at the base of the wall in right center field. Here comes Riley Klosterman. Walked back in the first, left stranded in second. First pitch off speed, call or strike. And the way Jaylee Ojo's been pitching, and the Hawkeyes get a couple more on the board. Might be more than enough for the freshman. Klosterman, that will get Bowman home. Ground ball to first in time, but BK does the job. Brings in Bowman, and it's a 2-0 Iowa lead.
Center fielder, Race Bain.
That is what the coaches call a productive out. Runner at third, less than 2 out. Hit it the opposite way, get the runner home from third. And BK did exactly that. 2-0 Hawkeyes. Here's Grace Baines. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Hawkeyes not winning until the later innings, what was the case last night versus the Dolphins. To set up a crooked inning. Hops in front of the catcher, Ward, 2-0. The NISC tournament MVP at the plate with the Hawkeyes up a pair. It is ahead 3-0. Chibi ahead 3-0. And we'll take the free pass to first. Fourth walk issued for Anna Reed and 2 1/3. And that's going to be the final pitch for Reed this morning. So Reed will come out and Riley Flynn will take over for the Crimson. Flynn makes her 4th appearance. 3 of them have come out of the bullpen. She is 1-0 with a 1.17 ERA.
Now pitching for Harvard, number 5, Riley Flynn.
Flynn with 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, walked 3, has a team best 9 strikeouts. Opponents are batting 100 against her. Right now, her job, keep this a 2-0 game. I hope her team can get something going. Flynn, sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Her rookie season last year was named Ivy League Rookie of the Year. 1.75 ERA in conference play. Threw a no-hitter in their series versus Yale last year. Speaking of Yale baseball will be playing literally a stone's throw away at Harmon Stadium right behind the Iowa dugout later on this afternoon versus UNF baseball. Her lone start came versus Manhattan in the season opener on Friday. Pitched 4 no-hit innings, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Moss flip that will fall over the head of Sun in the front of Fitzpatrick. And the Hawkeyes have something cooking once again. And Riley Moss continues to stay hot. First and second, 1 out. And up to Sammy Diaz. Reference how you feel got Sammy's getting close to finding that stroke in her senior year. Takes strike 1. Final numbers for Anna Reed. She goes 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Baines is her responsibility at second. Everything else belongs to Flynn. 0-2. Hawkeyes up 2-0 here in the third. We've been inside of the building a batting hammer for Sammy D, 1-2. Diaz over a hard shot that's dropped at third by Payne, and everyone is safe. Payne was right there. Looked like she had out number 2. Could not squeeze that glove quick enough. And everyone is safe, and the bases are loaded for Tori Bennett. Air for Payne. Bases loaded for Bennett. Strike 1. No 1. Pops that one up. It'll be Mays right in front of the Hawkeye dugout, 2 out.
Now batting, catcher, Skyland Pope.
2 outs and the bases loaded, and looks like Coach Gillespie's gonna make a change. I kind of figured that might be the opportunity. Bases loaded, 2 out, and looks like it might be Hannah Lindsay appearing to pinch hit for Skyland Pogue here. No, it will be Anna Streff. So an opportunity for the sophomore, Anna Streff. Bases loaded, 2 out.
Hitting for Iowa, 17, Anna Streff.
Streff looking for her first hit this season, 0 for 3. Straffy first pitch to right center. That one will fall in the glove of Babowski to save 2 runs and end the inning. A momentum-changing catch from Babowski. The Hawkeyes get 2, but are robbed of more on the diving catch from Babowski. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, bases left full of Hawkeyes. 2.5 complete. Iowa still leads 2-0. You're listening to Hawkeyes softball from Learfield.
You know I used to be in one league. People want me for one thing. That's not me. I'm not changing the way that I used to be. I just wanna have fun and get rowdy. Coke and Bacardi, sipping lightly. When I walk inside the party, girls on me. F1 type Ferrari, excuse me. Girl, I love it when your body grinds on me. Baby, you know I love it when the music's loud, but come and strip that down for me, baby. Now there's a lot of people in the crowd, but only you can dance with me. So put your hands on my body and swing that girl for me, baby. You know I love it when the music's loud, but come and strip that down for me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Bottom of the 3rd. Jaylee Ojo back to work. Skyland Poe back in the game behind the plate doing the catching. Hawkeyes pick up 2, but we're robbed of more on a beautiful play in center field by Lauren Babowski. Bottom 3rd of the Crimson Order coming up. Audrey Zalasi, Sophie Sun, and Finley Payne to take on Jaylee Ojo. Victor Anderson with you here from a crisp, cool Sunday from the UNF softball complex in Jacksonville, Florida. Zalasi takes that low for ball 1. Zalasi 2 and 6 on the seat, 2 for 6 this season with 2 runs scored. All right, pop pow right in front of the Crimson dugout along 3rd. Jaylee Ojo getting the start this morning, her 2nd start of her rookie season. Really showcasing the depth of this Hawkeye pitching staff. Shot right underneath the glove of Jenna Young. And Zalasi with the first Crimson hit. Went right underneath the glove of Jenna Young. Here comes Sophie Sun. Jaylee's first pitch to Sun, in at the knees for ball 1.
Sophie Sun.
Hawkeyes were anticipating Sun with the bunt. Diaz came charging in. Bennett went around to cover first. Two nothing Hawkeyes, bottom of the 3rd. Hops that one up, and that one will land in the stands. Hey, nice catch from a Hawkeye fan over to our right. A member of the Down family over on top to our right. The black and gold faithful, as always, enjoying their trip to the Sunshine State. Maybe brought a little cooler weather in the process, at least this weekend anyway. 1 run, and they get another bunt. Ball bounces right in front of us with Skyland and Sujin coming over. Ball and 2 strikes. Finley Payne waits on deck for Harvard. Sun with a shot to left. Klosterman goes back, and that one will land in the palm trees. That one's gone, and it's tied up at 2. First career hit for Sophie Sun is a 2-run home run, and we have a brand new ball game at 2-2. She was 0 for 10 before that swing, and what a swing it was. 2-run home run ties it up at 2-2. First home run for the Crimson this season, and what a time for it to come. That's the low ball 1 on a bunt attempt by Finley Payne. Payne will pop that one. Now will go behind us and end up stuck in the rampway behind our broadcast position. Ball and a strike. 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 3rd. Two and 1. And I'm sure Finley's wanting to get in on the hit parade after Sophie picked up her first career hit on a 2-run blast. Chops the bunt in front of home plate, foul. Squares up the count 2-2. See how Ojo responds after giving up first Hawkeye home run by this pitching staff in 2024. Ojo rocking back, right foot up in the air, playing on the ground. Fouled off again at the taut netting. Got the netting connected to some wires right above the Anita and Glenn Ross press box. Or some sparkling renovations UNF had a few years ago. Another 2-2, another hard shot past Barry and Coach Roan at 3rd. Timeout call, and they'll warn a trip to the circle for Iowa pitching coach Mandy Gardner-Colgate. Feels that the Crimson are starting to get to the California freshman, Jaylee Ojo, have retired the first 6 hitters she faced. Gave up the hard single to Audrey Selassie to start the 3rd, and then to Sophie Sun, 2-run homer. Tie up 2. Ojo in her 2nd career start is in a mixed bag. Again, the future of this Iowa pitching staff is certainly bright. You're bringing Jalen Adams last year, was all freshman Big Ten, and now you have just Koviak and Ojo this year. And especially the work and the improvement from Devin Greer so far in 2024. Meeting is adjourned. Count still 2-2. Now, again, will be fouled back off the netting. Payne continuing to battle versus Ojo. Crimson with the momentum on their side. All started with that diving catch in center field with the bases loaded in the top of the inning. A little bit high, and Payne has a full count. Two balls, two strikes. The payoff pitch off the end of the bat, fouled back. And double digits in the at-bat for pitches between Payne and Ojo. Fitzpatrick will love a second crack with Ojo with the runner on. We'll have to wait one more pitch. Three balls and two strikes. In the bottom of the third, Harvard tied it up at 2 on a Sophie Sun 2-run home run for her first career hit. They're going to appeal to third as she swings. No, says Ronaldo Mora. And Payne has the free pass. It'll back to the top of the order, and Fitzpatrick.
Top of the order, left fielder, Savannah Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick called out on strikes in the first. Let's see if she's taking that feedback from her teammates, her second time through the order. Down and outside for ball one. Ojo adjusts the mask. And is behind to the leadoff hitter, Fitzpatrick from Harvard. Shot gets past Tori Bennett to right field. And the Crimson have something going first and second with no out and for Lauren Babowski. Babowski, the reason why we stayed at 2-0 at the time, with a superwoman-like catch in right center field to the pitch hitter, Anna Streff. Shows bunt. This is outside, ball one. Ojo having trouble trying to find that strike zone here in his third inning. Four straight Crimson hitters have reached the start at the bottom of the third. They've tied it up at 2. They have to go ahead and run in scoring position in Payne. 2-0. Shaylee Ojo says, you know what, I'm done with this mask. She was trying to adjust it a couple of times early in this inning and just to account said, you know what, let me just ditch the thing altogether. Chopped off the play, ball will end up just to my left. 2-1. Payne at second, Fitzpatrick at first. Crimson trying to take the lead. No outs in the bottom of the third. Ojo with the 2-1 pitch. Misses on the top corner, 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Outside. Ball four, the bases are loaded. Babowski draws the walk. The bases are lowered for Alexa Ward. And that will be all for Jaylee Ojo. And it will be the other rookie hurler for the Hawkeyes, Andrea Jaskowiak. To come on. So both pitchers fail to make it out of the third. Jaskowiak will make her second appearance on the season. The other appearance came when Haley Ojo's other start versus North Carolina Central.
21, Andrea Jaskowiak.
She picked up the win versus North Carolina Central. She went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 3. Freshman right-hander from Madison, Wisconsin, now will try and do what Riley Flynn did at the top of the inning and stem the opponent's momentum. Bases loaded, still no outs in the third, and the Crimson's top hitter this weekend, Alexa Ward, will be up to the plate. Ojo had a strong start to the game, retired the first 6 batters she faced with 3 strikeouts, but then started to get banged around in this third inning. So Jaskowiak will be up. Finley Payne at third, Savannah Fitzpatrick at second, Lauren Babowski on at first. 2-2 ball game here in Jacksonville. Outside ball 1. Ojo's final line unofficially. 2 innings, 3 hits, the aforementioned 2 runs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. All 3 runners on base belong to the freshman. Two balls, no strikes. Hawkeye faithful up above, to my right, not too pleased. Saw Reed struggle with that in the first couple of innings with those 4 walks she had. To center, and a nice diving catch by Baines. Hawkeye fans thought that Hayne did not tag up from third.
Designated player Maya Douglas.
Infielders not making much of a fuss about that play. Fitzpatrick advances to third. Crimson take the lead 3-2. 1 out, runners at the corners for Maya Douglas. Runner goes, still to second, and they get her on the shoulder. Great tag applied by Jenna Young. Grabowski gets thrown out. Nice throw from Skyland Pogue behind the plate. So just like that, 2 outs. Fitzpatrick still at third. Douglas at the plate. Ball and a strike, 2 outs in the third. Harvard with the lead, 3-2. And it just Kowiak on the circle for the Hawkeyes. Climbs it up the ladder, 2-1. Savannah Fitzpatrick at third. Down below the knees, 3-1. Maddie Mays on deck. Kobiak trying to keep this a 1-run deficit for the Hawkeyes. Will walk Douglas and bring up Maddie Mays to the plate. Harvard has shown a tremendous eye at the plate this weekend. Had 13, they were issued 13 walks in the first 4 games of this UNFJU Classic. That's the third walk here in the third. Mays to the plate, flew out to Moss. Her first time up. Bounces that past the bag on third. All of our scoring has come in this inning. Hawkeyes got 2 plated. Robbed them more with diving catch by Babowski. Crimson advancing with 3 of their own. Inside of the shoe tops, and Hayes is behind 0-2. Nothing in 2, just Kobiak trying to keep this a 3-2 ball game, and instead will give up a single to right. That will bring home Fitzpatrick and makes it a 4-2 Harvard lead.
Now batting, second baseman.
Mays with her 4th RBI on the season. First and second, 2 out. And it brings up Megan Davies as both teams bat around in this third. Davies takes it outside, ball 1. With Fitzpatrick scoring, that officially closes the tally for Jaylee Ojo. 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 2 innings of work. How's that one straight back behind Skyland Pogue, 1-1. Riley Flynn, by the way, becomes the pitcher of record for Harvard. Reed will get a no decision. She got the start, went 2 1/3. 2-1. See North Florida getting loose beyond the outfield and left. To left, Klosterman, sunglasses on, makes the catch 2 feet towards the left field line. That ends the inning. But the Crimson bat around. Sophie Sun ties it up with the 2-run home run, and Alexa Ward gives them the lead, and Maddie Mays adds another.
After 3, Harvard leads 4-2.
Crimson pick up a big inning. They bat around, they played 4. They do so on the strength of 4 hits. No errors. They leave 2 left, 3 complete. Hawkeyes trail 4-2. You're listening to Iowa Softball from Learfield.
Leading off for the Hawkeyes in the fourth, shortstop, Jenna Young.
Top of the fourth, top of the order up for the Hawkeyes, Young, Berry, and Bowman. Hawkeyes trailing 4-2. Victor Anderson with you from UNF Softball Complex. Young belts that first pitch on top of the batting cages behind the third base side. 2 runs, 4 hits. No errors for the Hawkeyes. They've left 6. 4 runs, 4 hits. 1 error for the Crimson. They've left 2. Hawkeyes have left the bases loaded twice. That's one of the reasons why Harvard has the 4-2 lead. Riley Flynn in the circle. And is behind against the freshman Jenna Young. 2 balls and a strike. Jenna 1 for 2. Had a single and flew out to right. And is ahead 3-1. Riley Flynn in relief. Her 3rd appearance officially this year. Young blasts that to left. Fitzpatrick will be right there to make the catch. Fitzpatrick got a great jump.
Third baseman, Sujin Berry.
And catches the liner for out number 1. Went out for Sujin Berry. Sujin had a leadoff single in the 3rd and scored. The Devin Bowman triple. It's behind 0-1. Flynn, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year last year, won the Rookie of the Week honors on 3 separate occasions last season. Was 8-2 last year. Had a 1.75 ERA in conference play last year. 3.15 ERA overall. And Sujin behind 1-2. Was upstairs 2-2. Giving a little something for the freshman to think about before she tries to maybe bust something inside with this 2-2 pitch upcoming. Here is the 2-2. 2 bouncer over to Davies, and that one goes through the leg. Goes past her. Davies was right there. That ball took one extra hop that Davies maybe wasn't expecting.
Designated player, Devin Bowman.
And Sujin back on base for the 2nd straight inning. And up comes Devin Bowman. Bowman takes strike 1. Davies charged with the air on the misplay on the Berry bouncer. Bowman times the breaking ball. That will slice foul. To the Bowman, has to duck out of the way. Ball and 2 strikes to the freshman from Mesa, Arizona. Arizona battle. Phoenix versus Mesa here right now. And the Mesa product evens up the count 2-2. Hawkeyes down 4-2, top 4. And Bowman works the count, full 3-2. Riley close to men on deck. Flynn with the payoff pitch. Bowman gets handcuffed and fouls out away. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the 4th. And Bowman goes down.
Left fielder.
Flynn blows one by the freshman, picks up the strikeout. 2 down, Riley Klosterman steps in. Klosterman with the ground out to bring home Devin Bowman in the 3rd. Senior from North Liberty, trying to set up a 2-out rally for the Hawkeyes. Takes that pitch away, makes the count a ball and a strike. Two down, top of the 4th. Hawkeyes down a pair. Barry on at first. BK had to retreat before being hit in the top of her batting helmet. There's it for a strike, makes it 2-2. Deuce is wild to double deuce with the 2-run deficit here in the 4th. Barry goes. All the ball kicks away from Sun, but no damage done. Barry had that base stolen easily. So Barry stands at second, full count. Ball 4. So Klosterman with her 2nd walk in this game. And I'll bring up Grace Baines, who's also walked twice. Baines with 2 walks, has 2 on, her team down 2 here in the 4th. Baines takes a strike. 4-2 Harvard. Top of inning number 4. Next pitch from Flynn. Up and in on the hands. Count is squared at 1s. Sujin Berry at second. Riley Klosterman at first. Baines lays off and behind 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Down and outside. And again, it's the Deuce's wild circumstance.
2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hawkeyes down 2. Down and into the knees, full count. Riley Moss on deck. Payoff pitch to GB. Ball 4. Flynn wanted that strike called on the outside corner. Baines with her 3rd walk. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Hawkeyes have the bases loaded, and Coach Sutherland will call it out and have a conversation with her sophomore before she deals with Riley Moss. Jenny Rowan will come on in the conversation and chit-chat with Flynn and War. Ray Gillespie, Aaron Dow Johnson into the meeting as well. So here comes Riley Moss. Hawkeyes have had the bases loaded in 3 of the 4 innings today. They were held scoreless in the 1st. They got the bases loaded after they scored 2 in the 3rd.
Now batting for the Hawkeyes.
But Babowski with the diving catch robbed the pinch hitter, Anna Streff, of a 2-run single at least. And right now that's looming larger and larger with the Crimson up 4-2. Riley Moss shoots that one over the short. They get the throw to first, and again the Hawkeyes cannot take advantage with the bases loaded. Flynn walks 2, allows a runner on an air, but gets the ground out to end the inning.
No runs, no hits, 1 error.
No runs, no hits, 1 error. And again, the Hawkeyes lead the bases loaded.
Harvard leads
Bottom of the 4th, Hawkeyes down by 2. This is Iowa softball from Learfield.
Leading off for the Crimson in the bottom of the 4th, right fielder Audrey Velassi.
Bottom of the 4th. Hawkeyes again cannot take advantage with the bases loaded. And they still trail by 2. Bunt drop down, foul by Selassie. As we welcome you back to Jacksonville, Victor Anderson with you here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Same part of the order that got things started in the 3rd, up in the 4th. Selassie's son and Finley Payne. Andrea Jaskowiak in the circle. It's a low ball and a strike. Selassie with a hard single to start off that 3rd inning and set the stage for Sophie Sun's first career hit and a home run. 2-1. Hawkeyes have left 9 on base this morning. A good contact, but goes foul and left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Koviak coming on in relief of Jaylee Ojo. He went 2 in the third. Gave up 4 runs. That one's up above the Harvard with the crimson and white trim. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 4 and the leadoff walk to start the 4th for Harvard.
The shortstop, Sophie Sun.
And up comes Sophie Sun. Sun tied up the game with a 2-run blast to left. As Koviak winds, Sun lays down the bunt. Gets it there to first for out number 1, and snap throw from Bennett. Chases Selassie to second.
Now batting, Finley Payne.
So Sun with the sacrifice puts Selassie in scoring position. Up comes Finley Payne. As the wind picks up from our broadcast position, wind is actually blowing in. Well, it takes us for strike 1. Hawkeyes stay the same defensively. Klosterman, Mays, and Moss. The outfield left to right. Diaz, Bennett, Young, Berry. The infield first to third. Pogue during the catching for Koviak. Ball and a strike to Finley Payne. Walked in the third, now ahead 2 balls and a strike. Two-one. Nice stop by Bennett, but it's getting knocked down. That's going to bring Selassie scoring, and Harvard extends their lead to 5-2. Five-two Crimson back to the top of the order is Savannah Fitzpatrick. Payne with the RBI single. As Patrick showed bunt but lays back for ball 1. Sun with her first base hit in the third. Payne with her first base hit here in the fourth. Nice left center. Klosterman comes under it. Actually, that's Baines with the catch in right and left center.
Center fielder, Lauren Babowski.
Sit down for Lauren Babowski. Babowski struck out and walked. Off the bunt, but nice job by Pogue, foul. She was the last batter Jaylee Ojo faced before just Koviak came in. Five-two Harvard. Top bottom of the fourth. All gets away from Skyland Pogue. Payne goes over to second. 2-1, drop slow, 3 balls and a strike. Alexa War on deck. One. She does go after it, full count. Payout pitch upcoming for the freshman, Jaskowiak. Now we'll get past Jenna Young to center field. Payne around third, throw to the plate is high. She slides underneath the tag. Babowski goes to second. And the Crimson have blown it open. It is 6-2. Game, we talk about how softball is a game of momentum. Iowa had the momentum on their side. Had the bases loaded back in the third. That diving catch by Babowski that turned things in Harvard's favor. They scored 4 in the bottom of the third. Iowa loads up the bases in the top of the fourth. Can't score anything. And Harvard scores 2 more to make it a 6-2 lead. There's Renee Gillespie. I don't know if she's thinking about making a change here. Looks like she will. You see Haley Down coming in. And she will, and it looks like we will make that change. So the Hawkeyes going deep to their bullpen. Haley Down will have an extended relief appearance and will now have to keep this game within distance for the Hawkeyes. Down last night helped pitch the Hawkeyes to a Game 2 victory, 4-2 versus Jacksonville. Down went 1 in the third. Gave up a run on a hit, walked 3, struck out 1. The Hawkeyes got 3 runs across in the top of the 7th. The scorebook has Down picking up the save and Greer picking up the win. But Down should be the pitcher that should be credited for that victory. For different circumstances, Haley coming in now. Team down 4 in the 4th inning, and now you're just trying to prevent any more damage. You got Alexa Ward to deal with first off. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Harvard up 6-2. Third different pitcher, and it's in 2 innings for Iowa. Foul ball hit off the inside of the left foot. Or with the sacrifice fly and a fly out to left. Fouls over to Young. Gets it over to first, and that will end the inning. But the Crimson pick up 2 more. Thanks to Finley Payne and Lauren Babowski. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave a runner stranded. 4 innings complete. Harvard 6, Iowa 2. This is Iowa softball from Learfield.
I've been dancing on top of cars and stumbling out of bars. Follow you through the dark, can't get enough. You're the man
Top of the 5th inning, Hawkeyes down 6-2. They've been able to get base runners on versus Flynn, but the problem is they haven't been able to get those runs across. Diaz, Bennett, and Skyland Poe coming up, taking on the sophomore Riley Flynn. Victor Anderson back with you from the UNF softball complex. First pitch to Diaz is away, ball 1. Sammy has reached safely twice, had a walk to lead off the second. Reached on an air to load the bases in the third. Tails outside, Sammy's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Hawkeyes have stranded 9 so far this morning. Diaz takes the strike, 2-1. Flynn, an inning and 2/3. It's allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, and has a strikeout. Three and 1. This is on the corner. We love Diaz to get on base and try and start things off. Bring up Bennett. Instead, she'll send a shallow fly to left. Fitzpatrick tracks it down, 1 away.
Second baseman, Torrey Bennett.
Right now, up comes Torrey Bennett. Bennett, the only Hawkeye who has not reached base today. Strike 1. And it flew out to center, fouled out to first. Bennett gets jammed, left center, it'll be Babowski. Little miss dramatics with this catch. 2 quick outs for Flynn and the Crimson defense in the 5th. Harvard's defense, Fitzpatrick, Babowski, and Zalasi in the outfield left to right. Mays, Davies, Sun, and Payne, your infield from 1st to 3rd, with 4 behind the plate doing the catching for Flynn. Pogue takes ball 1 outside. Pogue reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. He slipped it for a pinch hit and a strike in the 3rd with the bases loaded. At the strike count is squared up 1-1. Top of the 5th, Hawkeyes down 6-2. Hawkeyes quickly running out of time. This is on the corner, 2-1. Poe gets a little jam shot right there, his son. And for the first time this morning, the Hawkeyes go down, 3 up, 3 down. All Crimson so far. Harvard look to extend their 6-2 lead in the home 5th when we return. This is Iowa softball from Learfield.
Bottom of the fifth we go from Jacksonville. Victor Anderson with you here on the Hawkeye Radio Network on a sunnily blustery Sunday late morning here from Duval County. Douglas Mays Davies up to take on Haley Down. Came in relief of Andrea Descovia. Picked up for out to end the fourth, and we'll get a first pitch out by Tori Bennett to start the fifth.
First baseman, Patty May.
Story of the game has been missed opportunities from the Hawkeyes. They had the bases loaded in 3 of the first 4 innings. They could not pick up a base hit with the situation. Harvard got 4 in the bottom of the fourth to take the lead. Got 2 more in the 4 in the bottom of the third to take the lead. 2 more in the fourth, and find themselves ahead 6-2. Patty Mays at the plate had an RBI single back to cap off that 4-run third inning. It's a strike one and makes the strike balls behind 0-2. Almost sharply hit foul on a netting over on top of the fan base to our right. Crimson coming off a 29-17-1 season last year. And right near the Iowa dugout. Harvard, the reigning Ivy League champions, went to the Fayetteville Regional where they lost 2 straight to Arkansas and Notre Dame. This is low for ball 1. Jenny Roan came in to take over for the great Coach Allard, who got the head coaching gig at Pitt. Hit deep to left. Klosterman's there, will make the catch along the warning track for out number 2. Klosterman had to get on that horse. And Mays is robbed of the home run, 2 down. Wind blew in just a little bit, and that was enough to knock it down for Klosterman. And we'll see Molly Dickerson pitch hit in the number 6 spot for Davies.
Pinch hitting for Harvard, number 21, Molly Dickerson.
Dickerson, who is 0 for 7 this season, will have a chance for her first hit of the year. First pitch by Down. Kicks off the left, kicks over the left shoulder of Skyland Poe for ball 1. Dickerson, senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. A lot of West Coast flavor for this Harvard roster in 2024. Slow roller to Young. And a nice job by Haley Down. She picks up the Hawkeyes' first 3-up, 3-down frame since Jaylee Ojo retired the first 6 batters she faced. 5 complete in Jacksonville. Hawkeyes still down by 4, 6-2. This is Iowa softball from Learfield. Top of the 6th inning. Hawkeyes down to their final 6 outs. We'll have the top of the order coming up with Jenna Young, Sujin Berry, and Devin Bowman. Victor Anderson back with you from the UNF softball complex, which is quickly filling up with some of the Osprey faithful. As we UNF's game versus the Hawkeyes later on this afternoon. Misses in time for ball 1 does Riley Flynn. Flynn has stopped the Iowa offense, although they've gotten their opportunities off of her in her 2 2/3 innings. 2 balls, no strikes. She gave up back-to-back walks to load the bases in the 4th. And has retired the last 4 Hawkeyes she's faced. Three and 0. Wind starting to blow in from right center towards us. It's been blowing our notes in our sheets all over the place. It's not as gusty as it was yesterday versus Jacksonville. That was more of a consistent wind throughout the doubleheader. It's just been picking up over the last couple of innings, as you can hear the wind behind us. Little flare and a nice leaping catch. Almost tripped over the bag, didn't hang, but she comes down with it one away for the Hawkeyes into 6. So 1 away for Sujin Berry. Sujin's reached the last 2 times she's been to the plate, had a single and scored in the 3rd, reached on an air in the 4th. Also has 2 stolen bases today. Down and outside, ball 1. Riley Flynn has only allowed 1 base hit. And ironically enough, was to the first batter she faced, Riley Moss, in the 3rd. Walked 2, struck out 1. And the rest of the Harvard offense has woken up behind her. 3 and 0. Timeout as Jenny Roan and Micah Sutherland will come on to talk to her sophomore hurler. Micah Sutherland was part of the Oregon State team that made that miraculous run to the Women's College World Series in 2022. Has pitched professionally in Athletes Unlimited. Was brought on to help round out Coach Roan's staff back in late September. And after that brief meeting, it's a strike, makes it 3-1. Sutherland most recently played professionally in the Italian Championships with Pro Team Forlì. And Barry will draw the walk to bring up Devin Bowman.
Back for the Hawkeyes, Devin Bowman.
The sun shines more. Lights are still on, but we expect them to start to come off within the next few minutes or so. Bowman pops up the first pitch. It'll be Davies calling off Mays, out number 2.
Left fielder, Riley Klosterman.
So 2 down for BK. Riley Klosterman to the plate. Just walked twice and drove in a run with an RBI with the ground out.
BK falls behind 0-1. Harvard 6, Iowa 2. Top of the 6th, 2 out. Sujin Berry on at first. Breaks high, breaks a little bit outside, evens up to count 1-1. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Crimson. 2-4-0 for the Hawkeyes. Iowa has left 9 on base. They've gotten base runners in every inning except the 5th. They've only gotten 1 hit off of Flynn. And her 3+ innings of work in relief of Anna Reed, who got the start. 3-1, and Flynn's been hitting her marks, but it hasn't been given those called strikes. The 3-1. BK lines it to left, but Fitzpatrick cuts it down. And the Hawkeyes again will leave a runner stranded. Barry gets on a walk and is stuck at first. Bottom of the 6th, Crimson will look for some insurance. They're up 6-2. This is Iowa softball from Learfield. Victor Anderson back with you at the UNF softball complex. Bottom of inning number 6. Hawkeyes trail 6-2. Salassi, Sun, and Payne up to the plate to take on Haley Down. Who has pitched well in her last 2 appearances here in the Sunshine State. Oh, ball 1. Taps that foul right in front of Sophie Sun on deck. Down has retired the last 6 batters she has faced. Stemming back to yesterday. She goes after the bunt. Makes it for a strike, makes it 1-1. Make a partner 1-2 to count. This is on the top corner, 2-2. Full count. Three-two, up in ball 4. Almost caught Selassie near the top of the batting helmet.
Now batting for Harvard,
So Selassie will walk. She's reached base all 3 times. She's reached base all 3 times today. 2 walks and a single. Here comes Sophie Sun. Sun tries to bunt. 0-1. None had the swing that really changed the game. A 2-run home run back in the third. Her first career hit as a Harvard Crimson. That tied the game at 2, and Harvard has rode that momentum to a 6-2 advantage. So Lovely Bird flies past right field and Haley down. And Riley Moss got hit off a down. And Jenna Young that ball hit off the down's glove and went where Jenna Young was originally positioned.
Third baseman, Finley Payne.
I'll bring up Finley Payne. So 2 on, no out for Finley Payne. Payne tries to bunt, just gets a piece. Payne walked and scored in the third, singled in a run and scored in the fourth. This passed Sammy Diaz, but foul. Crimson trying to expand their 6-2 lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th in Jacksonville. Harper trying to go to 4-1 on the season. That one will go just past the diving Jenna Young and foul ground outside of third. A great diving effort by Young. And it's now 1-2. Down in front of home plate near Skyland Pogue, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. All strike 3, gets a look in on the inside corner. So now picks up the strikeout, 1 down.
Savannah Fitzpatrick.
Back to the top of the order is Savannah Fitzpatrick. Ball 1. Hawkeyes will have 2 up in the 7th. 5, 6, and 7. Baines, Moss, and Diaz. High pop-up. Bennett will fight the sun, makes the catch. Two down for the Crimson. I'll bring up Lauren Babowski.
Lauren Babowski.
Babowski made the defensive play of the game with a diving headfirst catch back in the top of the third. Kept the Hawkeyes from putting further damage on the scoreboard. And that set things up for the Crimson in the home third where they scored those 4 runs. It's a 4 strike, 1-1. Babowski struck out, walked, and had an RBI single. Selassie at second, Sun at first, 2 down in the 6th. Babowski ahead, 2-1. As a bunting has fouled off. Call a little bit of Skyland Pogue. He's trying to feel that bunt. Bobowski is senior from Macomb, Michigan. Bouncer right to Bennett. Throw to first goes wide, and that will allow Selassie to score. Makes it 7-2.
The catcher, Alexa.
Bennett's throw went just a touch wide of Sammy Diaz at first. And Selassie running with 2 outs, as you should. Touches home plate, 7-2 Harvard. Here comes Alexa Ward. War 0 for 2 today, has a sack fly in the third. That's a shot that's going to bring in another run as Sun will score. Make it 8-2 Harvard as Alexa Ward continues her strong weekend. Ward now 6 of 13.
Player, Maya Douglas.
Here comes Bandy Gardner-Colgate. Always seems that those Harvard hitters made those adjustments as they finished their first time through the order. We saw that with Jaylee Ojo in the third. That they got 5 straight runners to reach. Ojo came out. Andrea Jaskowiak came in. They started tagging her around a little bit. Bobowski with the RBI single that chased her out of the game to bring in Haley Down. Down retired 4 straight. And of course, once again, it was just bottom third of the order. Selassie, Sun, and Payne that got things started here in the 6th. 8-2 Crimson. 2 on, still 2 out for Maya Douglas. Low at around the knees for ball 1. Down, gets the strike and a half. Squares up the count, 1-1, 2 outs into 6. Hawkeyes down by 6. Okay, chops out on top of home plate and bounces it foul. Makes it 1-2. High chopper to Young, and gets it to first in time, and that ends the inning. But the Crimson pick up 2 more runs. 2 runs, 2 hits in the air. They strand 2. Hawkeyes now to that final 3 outs. They trail 8-2 at the 6 here in Jacksonville. You're listening to Iowa Softball from Learfield.
Trying to drain me of my energy, they're trying to take away from it. With a kid and pray for you. I got girls in real life trying to up my day. Going online, that ain't part of my day. I got real popping with my family too. I got that can never leave Canada too. I got 2 mortgages, 30 million in total. I got that is still trying to be over. I got rap that I gotta act like I like, but my acting days are over for life. Yeah. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy, trying to take away from it. With a kid and pray for you. I got people talking down, man, like I give a. I bought this one a purse, I bought this one a truck, I bought this one a house, I bought this one a mall. I keep mine.
Top of the 7th inning. Hawkeyes trying to conjure up some late inning magic like they did last night versus the Dolphins. Grace Baines, Riley Moss, Sammy Diaz to the plate. Riley Flynn trying to close the door. Pick up her second win on the season. This is outside, ball one. 8 runs, 8 hits. 2 errors for the Crimson. They've stranded 5. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Hawkeyes. They have left 11, and that goes off of Payne's glove, and that's a good start as GB lines the single to start the 7th for the Hawkeyes. Victor Anderson with you. Glad you're listening to us coast to coast and around the world on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa baseball on the way versus Wichita State. Chad Evans with the pictures, descriptions, and accounts from 121 Financial Ballpark, just 20 minutes away from where we're situated right now. Of course, women's basketball set to tip off in a couple of hours in the Carver Hawkeye Arena versus Illinois. Rob Brooks and Tiffany Reedy will have the action for you there. Strike one to Riley Moss. Riley 1 for 3. Right now for Iowa, it's all about passing the bat around and keeping that line moving. A good start from Baines on that single. Slow roller to short. They'll get to second for 1, and that's all they will get. So Baines out on the fielder's choice, 6-4. 1 away for Sammy Diaz. Sammy has reached base twice in today's contest. Outside, ball 1. North Florida anxiously awaiting the Hawkeyes after this contest. Game will start 30 minutes after this game comes to its conclusion. We'll kick off our pregame show at 12:35 Eastern time. Maybe later, depending on when this game concludes. The 2-0 to Sammy Diaz. Breaks in for a strike, 2-1. Hawkeyes now by 6. Baines at first, Moss at first with 1 out. 2-2. And things are not going to get any easier for the Hawkeyes. They'll likely see Haley Aarons coming up next, although Allison Benning will be in the lineup. 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nice stop by Ward behind the plate. It's Patrick Babowski, Zalasi, the outfield left to right. Payne, Sun, Davies, Mays, the Crimson infield third to first. Ward catching for Flynn. Diaz slow roller, go over to second. They'll get 1, they'll get 2, and that's the ball game.
And that's the ball game.
Riley Flynn pitches the final 4 and 2/3 innings. The Crimson offense explode for 8 unanswered runs, and they take the victory by the score of 8-2. Harvard 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. They leave 5. Hawkeyes 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They leave 11. Riley Flynn picks up the victory. She improves to 2-0 in the season. The loss will fall to Jaylee Ojo. She gets her first decision of her Iowa career. Hawkeyes see their 3-game winning streak snapped. They now fall to 6-4. Harvard finishes their time in the Sunshine State with the record of 4-1, and Harvard will make their way back up to Cambridge and will have themselves a very successful flight home with a lot of positive momentum as they look to start their defense of their Ivy League championship. They'll be back in action next weekend in Atlanta as part of the Panther Invitational. Hawkeyes have one more game to play here in the Sunshine State. They will take on the North Florida Ospreys. Our pregame show will start at 12:35 Eastern Time, and we'll give you a recap of what we saw here this afternoon on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa baseball underway versus Wichita State. John Evans with the coverage of that, and of course Rob Brooks and Tiff Reedy will get you ready for number 4 Iowa as they take on Illinois and Carver Hawkeye Arena. Tip-off set at the top of the hour here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. So wall-to-wall Hawkeye action for you on this Sunday afternoon. Iowa softball suffers the loss this afternoon against the Harvard Crimson. Final score, Harvard 8 and the Hawkeyes 2. We'll talk to you in 25 minutes to recap what we saw versus Harvard and get you set for the Hawkeyes' final game in the state of Florida in 2024, as we'll take on the host, North Florida Ospreys. You'll be listening to Iowa softball coast to coast and around the world here in the Hawkeye Radio Network. Victor Anderson saying so long for now. We will talk to you in now 24 minutes as the Hawkeyes will do battle versus the Ospreys. Until then,